Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues. With this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 3 of the anime series, Gabriel DropOut. And once again, the sort of vignette format is continuing on. It's kind of reminding me of like Three Stooges shorts from back in the day, growing up as a kid watching them on TV. You're getting like little skit after little skit after little skit. And I'm not complaining at all. What I like about this episode as opposed to the last is that it's actually got a sort of overarching aspect to it with this angelic coffee shop and this poor, very put upon coffee shop owner who he just wants to sell a home-brewed cup of coffee and be able to tell about how he's painstakingly gone through this process of using 5 different kinds of coffee beans and all this kind of stuff, and all the effort he puts into this. He goes traveling to hunt down the specific beans he wants and tastes them and tests them and all this kind of stuff. And so, of course, Gabrielle is there for part-time work 1 day a week so she can have extra money for microtransactions, for MMORPG stuff, and all the extras and everything like that. This complete vice that has overrun her life, and she is like the worst hiree ever. She's gonna I thought for sure by the end of the episode, this guy's business, he was either gonna kill himself or decide to quit selling coffee altogether, or the business was gonna go bankrupt. They're not even having that much, through traffic of people coming in, customers coming in. But everyone who does, you got this guy who comes in, and Gabrielle, she goes over and she asks, what he wants. She's working as the waitress in the full maid attire and everything. And she comes up to the counter and tells the guy, I want something hot to drink. F that guy. What, is there somebody here? I don't know. I just want to drink, and making the boss do it for her. Eventually Satania ends up deciding to try to overcome this fear of, I don't know, certain earthly things. She's trying to get more information on the nitty gritty, if you will, of humankind. And one of those aspects involves her going to this coffee shop and confronting her fears. Lo and behold, here is Gabrielle ready to welcome her, not saying welcome, by the way, as she was not. She's just like, hey, come on in, But as soon as she lays eyes on Satania, she arcs back, and you get this super One Punch Man style action pose, and she punches Satania right in the gut, sending her flying out freaking door. The way they animated her flying out the door actually made me spit up. I was laughing so hard. And then she sort of rebounds and comes back in, and there's some tete-a-tete between them about, you're gonna serve me coffee, oh, I'm gonna pour it on you, this kind of stuff. This poor guy, this poor old man, he's eavesdropping in a sense, inadvertently hearing them mentioning coffee, and he's like, oh, this is great. Youngsters, youth, they are talking about coffee. Maybe they're excited about it as much as I am and everything. Maybe I can go over there, tell my little story, and he's already tried, and Gabrielle completely shut him down. And that was it. It was like, these girls are just not going to get along. So Tanya just wants to put Gabrielle in her place. Gabrielle just could care less. She doesn't care. By the end of the episode, she's not even going back to work. She's just concerned about her air conditioner that's not working, and going over to Vinay's, whose is, apparently working. And Vinay once again proves herself to be the closest to being sort of angelic in this entire affair, because she decides, after speaking a little bit to Gabrielle about just how much prowess in the sports and all the different things that Raphael is going out after in school, she decides, I really don't know much about her, and Gabrielle doesn't really seem concerned. I should get to know her, we should go and hang out. And they go and hang out, and you have Raphael, of course, doing something, pulling some kind of straw to really mess with Vinay. And it's all about getting these 3 buns, and one is fruity, one is, I don't know what it is, I forget what they said, and then one is spicy, one is uber spicy, and it's going to completely mess with her, because basically the way Raphael set it up is, if whoever gets the spicy one, if one of them picks it, they have to then pay for the lunch tab. Forget getting to know each other. She just wants to mess with and manipulate people. Again, the angels, you got the lazy bum, you got the sadist wanting to mess with people. the one demon girl that doesn't have a chip on her shoulder, a la Satania, Vinay is all kind-hearted, wants to genuinely get to know Raphael and everything. She just barely lucks out getting the strawberry sweet bun, you know, that kind of thing. And Satania just happens to be walking by. Raphael immediately jumps outside to call her in. And because this girl is, air quotes, taste deaf, the massive amounts of spice completely have no effect on her in the last of the 3 buns. So it's just, you know, it's one thing after another. And then, as I say, following on from all of this, Gabrielle's AC completely bombs out. She's sweated all over, and like she's got all these mosquitoes attacking her and everything like that. So she goes over to Vinay's immediately. Vinay opens the door and is like, nothing you're selling. We're not buying. She's like, I'm not here to even jealousize. I want to actually come in and just hang out. You know, you have a working AC. Let's have central air in my face for a little bit. And then all of God's blessings are reaped across the world in her mind at just the comfort of the cool air. Being completely, again, a bum and a user and, like, you know, everything like that. And then she's like stripping down because she wants to take a shower and get all cooled off and everything like that, all cleaned up. And she's got these heavenly lights over her private parts and everything. And I'm like, oh, it's just the typical censorship. But then, of course, Vinay's like, where are those lights coming from? And she says, so Gabrielle says something like, oh, you know, it's just a heavenly censor. That way this whole scenario is family friendly. And, then she says, like, toward the end, you know, she thinks she's forgetting something after a couple weird orgasmic, applying cream to mosquito bites. Okay. She realizes, oh, I think I forgot something. And it's Satania, who came over to heckle her and mess with her during the middle of the day, her off hours, her, you know, it's not the one day of the week she works, I guess. And she completely plows through the door because she's just lost her last nerve with the mosquitoes and everything. And we get one final shot of Satania just laying there sort of dead. So it's like, once again, as I say, the vignette factor seems to be the motif they're going for. I really like that we had this overarching aspect of the coffee shop, that we were, you know, going there, starting there very much with this very put upon. I just felt so bad for him, this guy, this coffee shop owner. And of course, we stray away from there, then we go back there, and then we kind of end on a more random note, a more stray note. But I'm still enjoying this show. I still love that dynamic of the angels being the baddies in a sense, and the demons, you know, not so much Satania, but at least in the case of Vinay, you know, she's such a warm-hearted, sweet girl. I mean, if this show doesn't end with her, you know, ascending to heaven and the angels and Satania all going to hell, you know, I'll be largely surprised. I'll be kind of disappointed if it doesn't play out that way. And once again, enjoyed this episode. Love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you enjoyed it as well. Everything like that. Anything goes in the comments below, whether you loved it or hated it. Just love having that conversation. Otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.